Hi there. I'm going to make a rice today, and I'm going to make a basmati rice because that's my favorite. I also like jasmine. So this particular rice I'm making, I'm using it to make my stuffed bell pepper recipe, but I'm showing you how to make this rice on a separate video just because it's kind of too much to show on a stuffed bell pepper recipe. So I have very many techniques in making my rice, but this particular way is my favorite way. So I hope you'll enjoy this short little recipe. Thank you. The first thing I do is I take a cup of rice and I wash it really well because naturally rice has arsenic in it. So the first thing you want to do is rinse your rice really well. That's our first step in cooking rice, no matter what kind of rice it is. There are many ways that I cook rice, but my favorite way is to cut up a shallot or part of a shallot and saute this in a little bit of olive oil with some garlic. That's what my favorite way to cook rice is, and there's many ways that I do cook rice. So I'm just chopping up a shallot, or like 3/4 of a shallot, and I'll bring you over to the stove and show you how I do that. The first thing I do is heat my skillet and put maybe a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of olive oil in the pan. That's where I start. Then I add my chopped shallot in. I'm going to saute these probably about 2 minutes just till they're translucent and they soften up a little. That's what we're going to do now. So after they have sauteed a few minutes and they've softened up, we're going to add like a teaspoon of garlic, fresh garlic, or this wonderful minced garlic I got from Costco, and it's just as good. It has citric acid in it. It's no major preservatives. So then you're going to add, about a teaspoon to a tablespoon of really good garlic. And you're going to saute this for another minute or so all together. And then after we saute it, we're going to add a little more olive oil, just a little like that, and just kind of stir it around a little more, just like that, where it's absorbing all the flavor and fragrance of the garlic and the shallot. Now we're going to add our rinsed 1 cup of rice, and you can double this if you want. You would do 2 cups instead of a cup of rice if you want more. And we're going to add a cup and 3/4 of chicken broth. And if you want to double the recipe, you'll just double everything else. So right now I'm just stirring this around for about 3 minutes. At our stage where we're actually sauteing the rice in the garlic and shallots, we're going to add our salt. And I would say about a 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt is about right, and then you could add a little pepper as well. So that's a cup and 3/4 of chicken broth. So what we're going to do after we stir it and combine everything together, we're going to put it on high, bring it to a boil, and once it boils, we'll cover it up and lower it to a simmer. We'll lower it on low for about 25 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes. I usually go a little more to make sure the rice is completely absorbed in the water or the broth. Here's our boil right here. So now we're going to turn it down to low, and we're going to put the lid on top of it. Cover it with the lid and let it simmer for anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes. There's our rice. About 25 minutes to have it actually cook all the way.